here with my daughter Bianca. We are going to talk to you about the library method. I've been telling a lot of people about this method and it's really fun, so I really wanted to make sure that I share it in a completely separate video. I outlined it in the preschool to kindergarten video, but I wanted to make sure that I got it on the free videos as well because it's very fun. So this was actually from The Well-Trained Mind. Jessie is talking at the very beginning of the book of her beginnings of homeschooling, and when she first pulled the kids out, how she had no clue what she was going to do, even though she was a teacher. So anyways, one of the things that she came up with was this library method, but I wanted to re-emphasize in this video too, just like I did in all the video outlines of each year, to read. The backbone of a classical education is a lot of reading, so you always want to be reading as much as possible. And just have fun with it. We almost want to do a paradigm shift in your thinking. A lot of times we think in order to have fun, we have to be watching TV or, actually, well, usually it is TV or watching a movie or playing video games. When really, we need to think of reading as lots of fun. And once you learn this method, you'll see how fun it is. So, let's get started. So, what she has her children do when they go to the library, or what she had them do, would be the key word there, was they had to pick a book from each of these categories. And we actually added a category which was math, because there's so many fun math puzzle books out there and all that kind of stuff. So, let me go ahead and have Bianca show you our math book.
This is Whodunit Math Puzzles by Bill Wise, and it's like a bunch of math mysteries where things happen and the character is able to figure them out with math. And they're real fun. They actually give you a real problem to solve. So
yeah, and we used our bookmark as a piece of paper that we folded up so that we would be able to that we'd be able to actually write out the problems as they do it, so that we could figure out the problems before we go to the answer too. So that was pretty cool. All right, the next subject is science.
Here we got Tsunamis by Anne Rooney, which is really cool because we were at the beach. We were in the hills, tsunamis and stuff. It was really cool to learn about them. So.
Yeah, very cool. All right, next one, history. And history can either be a actual history book, either like about a culture, so learning about the Aztecs, or it can be about an era, medieval times. Or you can even get books that have to do with that era. So we actually picked out this book. It has to do with the era that I'm studying, not so much the era that we're going to do this year because we're doing Middle Ages to Renaissance. But I am studying ancient cultures. So we grabbed this one as well.
So this is mythology. I'm not sure about the authors because it looks like it is Greek. But I'm guessing it is probably by different authors. And if you've ever heard of Percy Jackson, it's a lot similar, I'm guessing, with like myths from Greek mythology. So,
yep, and it's
pretty cool.
It's kind of put together like a dragonology book or the wizardology, that whole series, ologies. So it's really fun. The next one is an art and music appreciation, and you're going to want to get really familiar with the library and the kids nonfiction area. This was one that we had a little bit trouble seeking out, but then when we went down the rows of the non-section area and the children's area, and got really familiar with it. And the deeper we got, the more stuff we found, and it was really fun. But this is one of the books that we found from that.
So this one's called The Great Art Adventure by Bob Knox. And we have not gotten to this one. We have so many books that came home with a stack like this big. So we haven't gotten to this one yet, but I did have a chance to look through it, and there's some amazing pictures in there.
And it's from different time periods too, right? Yeah, so at different places around the world even.
Very colorful and very, what's the word? Very detailed, that's the word.
Good one. All right, good descriptor. All right. The next category is your practical, which can be craft, hobby, or how-tos. And Christian picked out a couple, so Bianca?
This one's Breakdancing by Wendy Garofoli, and I am not sure what this one is about exactly.
You're not? It's about breakdancing, it says it.
Yes.
But I guess you can't really judge a book by its cover, so that's what you're trying not to do there, I'm sure. So, how to break dance, very cool, okay. And then he also got...
Next one is Drawing Manga Monsters by Peter Gray, which I can guess what you know that this is about, considering what it says. So,
yep, it's got some pretty cool drawing. Christian picked that one out as well. Then the next one could be history or the next category, but it is autobiography, and so this is the one that we picked for that. Oh, biography or autobiography, excuse me.
this one's Bad Guys. True stories of legendary gunslingers, sidewinders, four-flushers, drag-ulchers, bushwhackers, freebooters, and downright bad guys and gals of the Wild West by Andrew Glass. This one has been really cool, like Wild Bill Hickok and
Doc Holliday.
And I forget her.
Calamity Jane.
Calamity Jane. I always remember the last word, but not the first one. So that one's really cool.
Yeah, that one's been really fun. And then the next one is a classical novel which is suited to age. And the idea here is you want to get your children familiar with classical novels by letting them get familiar with the plot. So we're not necessarily saying that we love abridged books. However, you do want to get more of a children's version. For example, we're reading Beowulf this year, and I was able to find a coloring book for it done by Dover that was really good, and it's got a very basic plot. And then I also I found in the library catalog one that is a children's version of Beowulf. So eventually, when we do this through high school, my son will be able to understand the original version of Beowulf because he won't have the problem of not knowing the plot already. So that'll be really awesome. But here's the one that we picked this week.
So we have Alice in Wonderland, Always Interesting by Lewis Carroll. And actually this one's really cool because it has really colorful pictures, and
yeah,
this one is very cool.
It was done by a different illustrator this time, so these are definitely not your classic.
Yeah, it's illustrated by Jules McGrath. I'm not sure if I said that right, but just guessing.
Sorry. All right, and then next you want to let them pick out an imaginative storybook. And I'm going to describe a way at the end of this that I let Bianca pick stuff out when she was younger. But for now, we'll show them what we got.
Okay, we got These Storytellers by Ted Lewin. And also, this is one of the others we haven't gotten to, but I'm guessing it's probably several stories.
Yeah, that's okay. We don't have to look right now. We actually already took back a bunch of the books that we had gotten that we were reading through, and that's one of the ones that's left. We're trying to do this every week and refresh our books so that we can just feast on the books. The next one that we have, and there's only 2 more categories. One of them is not necessarily books, but the next book category is poetry. So Bianca, will you show them what we got?
This one is Home on the Range, Cowboy Poetry. And we have not gotten to this one either, but we did do one. It's big, bad, and a little bit scary, which was really cool. That one was very cool.
Yeah,
very cool poetry.
It was. It had lots of predators is what it was. So it was pretty cool. The next category isn't necessarily books, but it is audiobooks. So again, along with the classical novel, we want to get kids familiar with classical literature. So one of the ways that you can also do that is to get them on audiobooks. So Chronicles of Narnia, Just So Stories, Charlotte's Web, so many others. Just get them on audiobook because they can comprehend them listening to them. And then later on, when they actually do have to read them, they're able to understand it a lot better. So we got some audiobooks.
So these are not exactly in order, but we have The Horse and His Boy. All 3 of these are by C.S. Lewis.
And they're all Chronicles of Narnia.
Yes. We have The Voyage of the Dawn Treader and The Last Battle.
Yeah, so we didn't get them in order, but that's okay. We will just probably start with The Horse and His Boy because it doesn't have to be done in the right order. The other thing I want you to know about these audiobooks is that these aren't really your magic schoolhouse type books. You can do those, we're not against those, but the real purpose of this is to just get them familiar with that classic literature. So what I used to do with Bianca when she was little was I would actually use what I call the piñata method. So we put her in the middle of the children's area. At that time it was just a big square. Now it's a little more complicated than that, but I would stand her in the middle, spin her around 3 times with her eyes closed, and wherever she landed, she had to go pick a couple of books out of there. Now you're going to want to check the content before you just let your child read that, obviously. But for the most part, we just got a lot of really great books, and we came home and we just devoured them. So I want to tell you this method really does work. When my son first started the method and we were starting to walk through the aisles of the children's nonfiction, he was kind of rolling his eyes and like, oh, I don't want to do this. But by the time we were about halfway through, we had picked out some really fun books, and we were finding lots of more fun books, and I was pointing things out, he was pointing things out, and finally we actually had to say we have to stop because, like Bianca said, our pile was about this big. Pretty huge, so we couldn't grab any more. And as soon as we got home, all of us just wanted to open up the books, and you know, we cuddled up with some hot cocoa and we read for a couple of hours, and it was a blast. So we had a really great time with this. It's a whole new way to have fun as a family, and I hope you guys will use this. I'm going to go ahead and end this video at this time. Remember to just have fun, read, 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 and think of education as much fun as anything else. And we'll see you later. Bye!